nothing. Someday I'll have it working.
Today, as we kind of descend right into Christmas, we're talking about joy, and I'm feeling excited to do some reflecting on that, and just wondering at the idea of joy. I was wondering if we could just help each other get a little warmed up here this morning. Can you say joy? Now I want you to do it with joy. All right. So, actually, how about this? This is a little like a little theater trick or something. But you usually say the starfish pose. Like make yourself big. Actually, let's stand up. I know there's other people are coming. Don't worry. We're gonna fill it up in a minute here. But what I want you to do is put your hands up and say joy. Okay. My daughter Brielle, who I guess is in the back, she loves this song, and she's going to be screaming along in her heart with you guys here. But every time we get to this chorus, we're gonna sing this, and we're just gonna sing joy, just like that. Too much joy. Sorry. Spilling my coffee. All right, so practice one more time with me. Joy!
Joy!
I'm unconvinced. All right, one more. Joy!
Joy!
Woo! All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. This is a song from Chris Stapleton and Carlos Santana called Joy. Something on the inside coming on strong. Everything that wasn't right, now I can do no wrong. All I was afraid of bringing me down. All the walls around love falling to the ground. Here we go. Joy! Rolling like the thunder rumbles. Time to let the teardrops tumble. Listen to the hatred crumble. Here we go. Now that I have joy, rolling like the wings of eagles, rattling the chains and tangle, meet me from a different angle. Now I have joy. So not too hard. Every single minute and every hour, drowning in it, and I can feel the power. I keep on pushing, the good and the bad. I believe because I have joy, rolling like the thunder rumbles. Time to let the teardrops tumble. Listen to the hatred crumble. 'Cause now that I have joy, yeah, flying on the wings of angels, battling the things untangled, I see me from a different angle. Now I have joy. teardrops tumble. Listen to the hatred crumble. Sing it out. Now that I have joy, flying on the wings of angels, rattling the chains untangled. I see me from a different angle, and now I have joy, joy, joy. Now I have joy.
Oh,
yeah. Where'd Dan go?
He's working on it.
Oh, okay.
No change.
Well, sometimes we do big fun things like put on a huge kids production and have to take all our gear across town and mess up all of our settings. So we're goofing around with a little bit of stuff this morning. As we come back here, that's part of the fun. So welcome once again. My name is Chris. You see him. And as we wander together at Joy, we're going to sing some of these joy kinds of songs. This next one is one of those traditional carols, whether it's for Christmas or Easter, called Joyful, Joyful.
I think I'm coming out. I'm just not in our ears.
You want to just pull an ear maybe so you can hear it?
Sure.
Okay. All right, well. All right, this is Joyful, Joyful. Joyful, joyful, we adore you, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before you, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of eternal gladness, fill us with the light of day. You are giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed. Fountain of the joy of living, ocean depths of happy rest. Go ahead and have a seat, would you please? Oh, yeah.
All right. Heyo, good morning. Welcome. Good to see you. I'm Maya, and I love being part of Fabric. And something kind of awesome about this community is we have an incredible and wonderful staff. But also, I don't work here, and if you're new, you might think I work here because so many people are doing all these things. And I always say that Fabric is like a real-life community where we all give a little and we get a lot done. And it's just harder and harder to find communities where that is really happening. So, one really amazing part of our community is we did our Christmas show last week. It was incredible. The kids were just like on point. Our values aren't up, but they were thinking big, braving uncertainty. I mean, there were kids this big with speaking lines. There were kids who weren't even like part of our community before this, who were showing up every week to rehearsals and rising to Heidi's high standards. Let's be honest. It's amazing. There she is. But yeah, it's just an incredible thing. If you haven't visited the check-in table, there are name tags by...
Hey, Heidi and Della, come here. Come here, Heidi. Here, I'm back here.
Oh! Come here!
Heidi and Della.
Woo! I think you need to come closer.
Yes, we got to come closer. Our mics are attached. Well, of course, we are all the parents of the kiddos who they've given this opportunity are very thankful. So we did pull together and got a gift, and you have to come get them because I can't talk on a mic. This one's for you, and this one's for you and Katie. Yay! Okay, thank you. Sorry for that interruption.
Truly the best. So they're back with the kids celebrating right now. So if you are a small person and you want to go celebrate back there, feel free. Also, the nest is open if your kids just want to get some wiggles out. Coffee's over there. Bathrooms are down the way. If you follow signs, there's a gender-neutral changing table bathroom. I don't have my Sunday paper here for you, but Karen has them over there. Good to see what's up. And you should definitely grab them because I have a marathon of announcements right now, and they're all in there. So the next thing that's happening after this gathering is a solstice gathering at 5 p.m. at the Bunny on Minnehaha Parkway. There's going to be luminaries. It's going to be pretty. And Fabric is a place where I came to appreciate, even though it makes me really sad, the long nights. But I really learned to see this time as a time to kind of cocoon, and it's okay if you need to be bundled up in your bed a lot more than normal because you're going to become a beautiful butterfly later, and it's important to cocoon sometimes, and I feel like the solstice really represents that. So there's like a little solstice gathering today. Then at 2 p.m. we're going to have a Christmas Eve gathering here. And the Sunday in between, or the Sunday after 12:28, we're going to have some Hygge community. I'm saying it wrong, but Hygge. There you go. So head to Venn Brewing for some more cozy hangout time. In the Sunday paper, there are connection cards. Say your prayers, say your woes, say your cheers, all the things. And over here, there's a beautiful paper chain. Over there, if you want a way to connect and like remember the reason for the season, if you will, there's like a paper chain to make with like connection questions for yourself to reflect on, or like family or whoever you're gathering with. So a fun during the week connection. All right, say hi to somebody next to you. What you can think about your New Year's resolution.
It's out there. Am I supposed to be hearing something?
Hey, Fabric live stream people.
Can I not hear talk back?
I think you're hearing me, right, Turner? Awesome. Thanks, tech team back there. And hello from Field. It's December 21st. It's the solstice. You made it through. It's the shortest day, and now we are starting a new part of our revolution around the sun. So may it be so for all of us. So I don't know what this year has meant for you. Oh, it sounds like maybe the sound's not working. Sorry. Is it working now, Turner? Did they hear anything I said yet? Oh, okay, good. Never mind. Getting mixed messages from these handsome people back here. What was I saying? So what has your year brought? Today, we're talking about joy today. I don't know if you heard. And using the Cardinal as a reference point. And I love how you can see cardinals late winter. And
Check.
it's a
Talk.
reminder, even on the coldest day
Check, yes.
or the hardest day or their most exhausting day, you can still
Yep.
see some red.
Got it.
And
Yep.
see a
Yep.
reminder of
Yep.
flight and freedom and joy. So, I don't know. On one hand, that's what I'm thinking about is the little joys, the little kindnesses I witness. So I hope you are witnessing that, and I bet you're practicing that. And on the other hand, there are many other feelings when we care about the world and about ourselves and take life seriously, even if we don't take ourselves seriously. So there are things to be angry about, things to be grieving about. So all of that is included as we make room for joy today. And I welcome you so wholeheartedly. Please use our connection card online and let us know what kinds of griefs, rages, angers, joys, feelings you're balancing in this season. We'd love to just connect around that real life stuff with you and know where you're listening from. And we wish you a really Merry Christmas. So join us on the live stream at 2 on Wednesday if you can, or watch it later. But mostly, thanks for being you and being the things we love about Christmas. We can practice them in the smallest moments. So thanks for doing that where you are, in small ways and in ways that might even feel big and brave to you. More power to you and us. All right, bye. Thanks. I'm Melissa, by the way. I don't know if I said that. I'm so glad to meet you. Bye.
Come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning. What was in those ships, all 3 on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. What was in those ships, all 3 on Christmas Day in the morning. Savior Christ and His Lady on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Oh, Savior Christ and His Lady on Christmas Day in the morning. And all the bells on earth shall ring on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. All the bells on earth shall ring on Christmas Day in the morning.
Well, that's fun. I should probably grab the things I need. Thanks, band. That was really fun. Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. You enjoying the sunshine? Yeah? Yeah. It's nice to wake up and not have the wind creaking the house today. That was great. Well, I'm Ian. I'm glad to be with you all today for our time together. Hope that it can be a time where we can just sort of shake our shoulders and, acknowledge the busyness and the chaos and yeah, you got it, yeah. Acknowledge the busyness of the season without having to be consumed by it. And so we'll get started today. So this is the Sunday that we are daring to acknowledge joy. Today we're talking a little bit about joy and signs of joy. And joy can feel like a strange thing to talk about when the world feels as it does. When the world is not, when things aren't going perhaps as they could be. In fact, I know we've already talked about this, but today is the longest darkness of the year, is the solstice. So today, enjoy this sunshine because it is a fleeting little gift. I don't know about you, but I have sometimes a hard time with the concept of joy. Like it's an idea that's, for me, when I think about joy, the initial thought that I have is actually happiness. And I think for most of my life, and even as I stand before you today, I have a hard time sometimes differentiating between joy and happiness. But happiness can be kind of a fleeting thing, like it's this conditional reality. But the joy that we're talking about today, we're gonna spend just a little time trying to re-articulate it or claim some of it for ourselves. The joy we're talking about is not so much like a victory lap, right? Like conditions have been met, and so therefore I have joy, right? It's not a victory lap, but it's joy is something that simply is. Joy is, even before the story is over. So sort of my thesis for today is that joy, and here's one of your fill-ins if you got your Sunday paper handy. Joy is the courage to notice what's already breaking through, even before the story is complete. Joy is attentiveness. It's noticing what already is breaking through even before resolution, even before the hard stuff is gone. Joy simply is, not as a response to certain conditions being met, or in other words, like, if X, then joy. It's an undercurrent reality accessible to you right now, in all moments, in all times. It just takes noticing. And if you're like me, it's not always easy to notice, right? This time of year, when it's so dark, this time of year when the calendar fills up, even though the calendar is filling up with a lot of things that I enjoy and a lot of people that I love, just the sheer volume of commitments, the weightiness of the word should, feels like it can sort of strip some of the joy away. Like it's just overwhelming. And then I look at the headlines in the news, and I talk to my neighbors, and even just like kids are on school break right now, which they're so happy about, but that requires a lot of shifting, doesn't it? Of schedules and care schedules and all that. Joy is a little rough to find sometimes. But, again, joy is not the same as happiness. Joy is not the denial of struggle, and it's not pretending that everything is okay, la-di-da. We've been, in this series, exploring the idea of waiting. The series we're calling, What Are We Waiting For? Waiting. We've talked about active waiting, that waiting isn't just this sort of twiddling our thumbs, wasting time, but there's sort of an active posture to waiting. We've talked about preparing, not as hustling harder or working more, right? The differentiation, like differentiating between prepping and being prepared. So preparing by being rather than doing. And now I want to invite us to look at joy as attention. Joy as a noticed sign, not as a destination. I think that joy can be anticipatory. Joy shows up before resolution. I think it's closer to wonder than it is to certainty. So I want to argue that when we're talking about this joy, it's an awareness or an attention to the ways that we're already tapped into what our friend Joe Davis has described to us as being the great wellspring of well-being that is. Right? You ever seen There Will Be Blood? That movie? And there's like it's like, I take my, talking about oil under the surface, you know, like, I drink whole milkshake. Like, joy is just down there. We got to tap into it. Our culture often treats joy like happiness, which is often treated like happiness is sort of like a reward, you know. It's something that we only get if and when conditions are met, and we're talking about it as a signal. The Benedictine monk David Steindl-Rast once said that joy is the happiness that does not depend on what happens. So joy doesn't say that everything is fine. What it says is something is happening already. Can you see it? Can you hear it? We'll dive more into that on Christmas Eve, I think. But for today, let's just hold that definition together. That joy is what says something is happening and it's great, no matter what you're going through. And so across this series, we've been looking at like different animals that we may see natively in Minnesota. We looked at they're on the tree now. There's the deer that teaches about waiting in the dark. We looked at the wolf as a teacher. The wolf that by virtue of being a wolf can change entire ecosystems. Today, I want to just paint this picture for you of a Minnesota landscape. What it might look like looking out your window, right? That's a nice neighborhood. Snow-covered house, right? When it was raining earlier this week and all the beautiful snow was going away and everything started to turn a little more gray and brown, right? There's this sort of monotony, this sort of drudgery of winter in Minnesota too. The cold, the coziness, the sort of monotonous rhythm of the winter. But then, suddenly, this happens with some regularity here, you get like this, bam, a shoot of red. Let's see it. Boom. Huh? This right here looks like my great-grandma Mildred's apartment. Just cardinals everywhere. I don't have a lot of memories of her, other than like she always looked angry, but had these joyful little cardinals everywhere. My dad's here, his grandma. It's about right? She was stern, yeah. She pursed all the lips she didn't have tightly together all the time. Like, Merry Christmas. So, cardinals in the cold, this little sign of joy. One of the things our office, we shifted offices earlier this year, our staff, and right outside our window, so our office is like a bunch of desks all clumped together, and we sit there and look at each other. That's how we work. It's great. And right outside the window is this, I think it's a cedar bush, and it's all covered in snow now. But we've been planning this series, and as we were talking about the cardinal, you can guess what came into the bush, what just popped up, jumping around on the ledge of the window. It's this cardinal, right? It's like, it's such a joyful, like a cool cardinal. It's not even rare to see a cardinal, but it's such a like, it's so Yay, I love cardinals. They're so cute. And I'm just curious, like when you think of a cardinal or you see a cardinal, what comes up for you? For me, Grandma Mildred Tucky. What comes up for you? Delight? Top of the tree with blue sky behind it, yeah. Can anyone make a good, convincing cardinal call? Someone was doing it. Do it again. That was a good one, huh? They like demand to be heard, don't they? Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of dead grandmas. Not right. Joy. There's something of both joy and this like maybe kind of a lingering achy sadness or a nostalgia. Like cardinals bring up a lot in like a little instant, a little moment. A lot of stuff comes up, like loved ones who have passed. For others, it's like delight, hope, resilience, something about like being watched over, right? I think that's beautiful. Like when we see some bird or an animal and it's like, oh, I have this like deep and abiding sense that somebody I love who's no longer here is like with me, right? I mean, I'm kind of joking about it, but like I think that's actually really beautiful. Nostalgia, longing, tenderness, and sadness even. Seeing a cardinal, like I said, it's not a rare thing, but it's always a felt experience, seeing a cardinal. And cardinals may not explain anything, you know, these feelings come up, these memories come up. Cardinals may not explain anything, but seeing a cardinal changes a moment, doesn't it? Just a little sign of joy in the midst of whatever is already. And so, as we looked in the previous weeks at like deer being teachers and wolves being teachers, I kind of got curious about how might a cardinal be a teacher too, right? So, admittedly, I didn't know a lot about cardinals, so I started looking up, cardinal facts. And I just want to name that, like, there's all sorts of wildlife, particularly birds in Minnesota, that we see for a season, and then we say goodbye to them when it gets cold, right? Like the geese and the ducks and all these migratory animals that we see just for a season. But cardinals don't migrate. They stick around for the winter. They remain close, too, this is wild to me. They remain close to wherever they're born. So usually the typical cardinal will die within a mile of where it hatched. That's cool. They have these like very set, bound territory areas. They pair together, mostly monogamously, for life. And they're like a really good team. Like bird couples are really good teammates. The females, you might know this, have more of that kind of like gray-brown look with a little flash of red in the tail around the wings. That's so that they can like hunker down and be a little camouflaged over the eggs on their nests. And the males are the ones who do all the feeding. So while the female's on the eggs, the males go in and getting sunflower seeds are their favorite, and they get like bugs and weed seeds and all sorts of stuff, and they feed the mother, and then the hatchlings, kind of the baby birds, emerge, and the dad's like feeding them constantly. This is kind of cool. Their instinct to feed, these male cardinals, their instinct to feed is so strong that even when the baby birds become fledglings and they leave the nest, they'll continue to track where their young go and keep feeding them. That's cool. It reminds me of like going to college and coming home for dinner, like bringing all my dirty laundry, thanks, Mom. Like they keep feeding. And then once those fledglings grow up and are providing for themselves and no longer need to be fed, you know what the male cardinals do? They feed other birds, the young of other animals. There's a picture I found, cardinals have been brought to Japan, and there's this like goldfish pond. There's a nature photographer got a picture of a male cardinal feeding a goldfish at the edge of a pond. So cute. Oh, I know. They adapt and they expand their territory. They used to have this just like right in the southeast of the United States, and now they've slowly like just adapted to humanity, right? So you see them even in urban settings, even where people are changing the landscape, not always for the better for the rest of everybody, but cardinals have found a way. And so I wonder if cardinals, for us, for the rest of this winter maybe, or even just like this week, if cardinals could be for us a reminder of joy. I think there are lessons to be learned from the cardinal. Because like the cardinal, joy demands to be seen and heard. Joy doesn't escape for the season. It doesn't migrate away. It doesn't return only when the conditions are right. Joy, like the cardinal, is present. Joy tends to what's nearby, and it doesn't leave, and it adapts, and it expands its reach, and we too can be on the lookout for it. Joy is accessible, even when it's cold, even when it's dark, even when we're struggling. Joy is the wellspring of well-being that we can tap into. The flash of red doesn't erase the cold, but it reminds us that life is very much still here, very much still happening. There's something vibrant, even under the icy crust. It's the reason why cardinals like jump around and roll around in the snow. There's still stuff under there. Life is still happening. There is enough, cardinals remind us. And maybe even joy reminds us that there is enough, even in the dark and cold, that it's worth sticking around for and hopping around in the snow about. So I'm going to invite you just for a moment to think about a sign of joy that maybe has emerged and demanded to be seen or experienced in your life. Maybe you've already jotted that down on your Sunday paper, but think about, where has there been, despite the world as it is, despite the calendar being what it is, and the expectations on the season and all of it, where has joy demanded to be seen? We just turn to one another and share one quick story with one or two people right around you while I light our candles over here for joy. Switch people if you haven't already. Let's give voice to everybody. Cheers. As you wrap your story sharing, your joy sharing, I want to notice with you that both telling about your experiences of joy, where joy has demanded to be seen, heard, experienced, and also hearing from others what has kind of been a light in the window for them, a cardinal in the snow for them. It does something to the spirit in the room. Did you kind of feel that a little bit? Joy loves to be told about too. And so I think this really does connect to the sort of Advent-y season that we're in, the kind of church season as we prepare for Christmas. When I think about like the sort of traditional, nativity scenes and the kids' plays that you often see that aren't the Jingle Book, where when I think about like shepherds in the field, I think about a little, usually it's like a little trio of kids wearing a bed sheet tied around their head, right? So in my imaginary, a shepherd is like a little kid in a very clean costume. But I want to talk about the story as it's so often told in this most wonderful time of the year of the shepherds. So let's go to the next slide. This picture was taken just a few years ago. There are very few professions that are practiced the same way now as they have been for, centuries. But shepherding, particularly in the Middle East, Turkey and Palestine and that region of the world, still being done in the same way, often, in very similar ways at least. So this is a real shepherd in a real field with his real sheep. So the story as it's told is that out in the fields at night, fields that may look something like this, far, far, far from places of like palaces and power and authority, shepherds were doing what they always did and still do. Working the night shift, watching, waiting, listening, caring for their sheep, for their flocks. And maybe most notably of all, just like any other night, these shepherds in the story were not looking for angels. Didn't have any idea they were coming. So this is like nothing remarkable, just another ordinary evening under an occupied sky. And then that underlying goodness, that wellspring of well-being called joy that simply is everywhere, refused to stay hidden. And light broke in the middle of the night where nobody expected it. So angels appeared, it says. In the ancient church, this kind of fun fact, a lot of the early church thought that angels and light were the same thing. So anytime there's light, like you're in the presence of angels. So all of a sudden, boom, like light, something happened, right? And fear, the obvious response to unexpected things, fear surged in these shepherds because that's what happened when something extraordinary interrupts the familiar. But another message came quickly to these shepherds. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. This isn't bad news. This is joy, like real joy for all people. Change is coming. So again, these shepherds are like kind of like on the socioeconomic, on the professional hierarchy. These are like kind of right on the lower end, right? And in a world where empire was very present, I don't think we can ever read the Bible or think about the Bible out of context. Like, empire is the background. Power being held over is the background. But to hear that change is coming is supremely intriguing. And this joy that this don't be afraid, this is real joy for all people, change is coming. It's not a joy tucked safely away in temples or reserved for the powerful, but it's joy being announced to workers in the field on the night shift, biding time. And joy that is wrapped in vulnerability. Like it's not a strong man, muscly joy. It's a vulnerable kind of thing. And the shepherds, as the story goes, they didn't debate it. They didn't overthink it. They just were like, oh, guess we'll go see that. And so they take off. And when they arrived at the scene where Mary and Joseph and this newborn Jesus were, they found exactly what they were told, a sign small enough to miss, but strong enough to change everything. So this is the scene on the next picture that they found. And they couldn't keep it to themselves that this wild thing had happened. What they found. They went and they told the story to whoever would listen. They let wonder spill out of them, and then they went back eventually to their lives. To the same fields, to the same work, the same sheep. I assume that they found their sheep eventually. Can't imagine they did that well. They went back to their same world, but they didn't go back as the same people. Because having eyes to see joy, ears to hear it, experiencing signs of joy, whether they're really big like this or even just simple and small, change the course of the rest of our day at the very least. Joy, once seen and experienced, insists on being shared. And those who learn to recognize it are never quite the same. There's a paradox to name here. Like angels appearing, joy breaking in big ways, doesn't mean that suffering, hardship, the hard stuff disappears. Joy doesn't do that. A cardinal showing up in the bush outside the window or up in the tree with the blue background just whistling right at you doesn't mean that winter's over. And I would say that Christmas, the story that gets told at Christmas, doesn't instantly fix the world. That seems obvious. And yet, joy is a sign. When we're attentive to it, joy is a sign that the story is moving. The story is moving. Life is still happening. I want to tie this back to waiting, because I think waiting, just to reiterate, waiting doesn't mean, staring down at our toes or navel-gazing and twiddling our thumbs. Waiting also means watching, being attentive to, noticing signs of joy, even when the story isn't over. I know, because I've heard from many of you, some of the hard stuff that's going on this time of year, right? There are parenting challenges. There are relationships that are in need of healing and mending. There are really scary diagnoses of loved ones. I hope like sincerely hope that in the midst of all of that, of big life stuff, that we can together help each other to notice signs of joy. And that we can maybe even be for one another signs of joy, of hope, of resilience, of care. Joy, I think, in this way, is the quiet confidence that despair and the scary of life doesn't actually get the last word. And so, going into this week, where I'm sure you have nothing on your calendars, nothing to attend to, right? I want you to keep your eyes open for a little flash of red. Just a little glimpse of delight. I want you to practice joy as attention to maybe a moment of connection or a shared laugh with somebody in an unexpected moment. Maybe that deep sense of belonging, even for a moment, looking at somebody's eyes, that you belong. Full stop. Just these reminders that you're not alone in whatever it is that you're going through. As community, in all times and places, but especially at this, the darkest time of the year, we practice recognizing joy together, to remember, like the fullness of who we are, not just the worst of what's happening, but all of who we are. So as we gather around lights in the dark, maybe tonight you'll be at the Bunny on Minnehaha, or lighting a candle with your family in your living room, or getting together with family, whether you want to or not. As we gather around lights in the dark, may our eyes be trained to see. Joy insisting on being recognized. When the world feels cold and unfinished as it is, may we see flashes of life emerging, flashes of life happening that refuse to disappear. And remember that something good is already underway. May it be so.
Well, let's go ahead and find your connection card, and if you haven't written on that yet, that's all right. You can always toss that down here afterward, but you'll see some little bags in the aisle on the floor.
Cardinals at Grandma's, right?
And let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cardinals
Just
especially, yeah.
as a reminder, if you're new around here, it can feel awkward when we start passing the hat and whatever. So just know that we don't expect you to put money in here, and but this is a community that's supported by the people gathered. So that's we're grateful for the ways that happens too. Mm-hmm. So this is a new song, and I just want to share it. It's specifically for this very moment. A lot of times for me, songs just kind of become this laborious thing, and you just have to set them aside and wait for a bit. But this is one that decided it wanted to just pop on out.
Do you like put seed for them? Yeah. the sunflower seeds or whatever. Yeah.
I've got Ian in my ears, if you don't mind. Thank you. It's just a little, you know. He just keeps talking. All right. Yeah, so this is called Candle in the Night. Is there love? Is there peace? Is there a light, comfort and joy, or just a dream? Is there time? Is there space? Is there a lighted windowsill that says we can wait? 'Cause I'm waiting for a sign that everything will be alright. Would you be a candle in the night? 'Cause sometimes all we need is a little light. So be a songbird in a tree. 'Cause sometimes all we need is a little melody. You could sing that melody. You could shine and be a candle in the night. Is there life beneath the snow? Is there something resting, trusting there will be a time to grow? Or are we fools, fools to hope? Or does it take all of us to believe the things we think we know? 'Cause we're waiting for a sign that everything could be alright. Would you be a candle in the night? 'Cause sometimes all we need is a little light. Be a songbird in a tree. 'Cause sometimes all we need is a little melody. You could sing that melody. You could shine and be a candle in the night. All right, well, I want you to sing this little song here. I think you know it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Could you be a candle in the night? 'Cause sometimes all we need is a little light. So be a songbird in a tree. 'Cause sometimes all we need is a little melody. Would you be a signal, be a sign? All we need is you and that little light. So be a songbird in a tree. 'Cause sometimes we might find a little harmony. You could sing that melody. You could shine and be, you could shine and be a candle in the night. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Well, what do you say we stand on up? You know, when you think about Christmas songs about joy, you kind of can't help but think about this one. So this is Joy to the World.
thanks for being here today. Again, look for those little glimpses and signs of joy. I think kids are coming back in here. They had had their cast party today for the Jingle Books. They got to watch themselves today. That was great. And you may notice the pre-feast. So if you're going to be here on Christmas Eve, we're going to have cookies too. But signs of joy, let's have a cookie together too. Thanks for being here, and have a wonderful week. Thanks for being Fabric.